So you talked a little bit and you showed some of the marketing materials. So by the time the film was released, Madonna was becoming Madonna, and there were some of the marketing materials that only featured her.
Yeah, well, what happened is, so when we first started the film, and the first day of shooting was actually was the shot where she's walking down the street wearing those little white gloves and eating cheese puffs. Um, that was filmed on St. Mark's Place. We were, there was camera trucks and a crew and lights and stuff like that, but pedestrians were not paying much attention. We weren't creating much of a buzz, and people would look, oh, there's a camera, there's a film crew. No stars that they recognized at that time. But by 9 weeks later, by the time we finished filming, her Like a Virgin album was either just released or about to be released, but she had done the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. And it was like watching, a meteor explode. Everything had changed so dramatically over those 9 months, so that by the end we did need security guards. And the movie that had started out originally, the first person cast was Rosanna Arquette as the young upcoming star, suddenly began being referred to as the Madonna movie. And that was, just because, suddenly she had this huge album and this movie was coming out, and they both fed off each other.
I'm curious, as the director, how did you handle it in the end? The with Madonna and Rosanna Arquette, who was the actor. And especially with the materials that are featuring Madonna so heavily, as the director, yeah. How do you handle that? And I know you mentioned something about your relationship in the book with Rosanna Arquette.
Yeah, I think it was a little hard between me and Rosanna, because I think I probably was not as sensitive as I would be now. I mean, I was young. I was probably naive about how to work with actresses and how they feel and the whole process. And I think it must have been hard to come on as the star of the film. I mean, it was a movie that starred two women, but she was the known Hollywood up and coming starlet. And then suddenly find yourself in a movie that's being called the Madonna movie. And I probably could have handled that with a little more sensitivity. Something I realized as I got older and got to work with more, and just had more experience working with actors.
Yeah. Have you talked about it since? Have you encountered her, and have you talked about it since the movie was shot?
Yeah, I did. And I was glad I did, because after the movie, our lives intersected. Like, we were both at Madonna's wedding together. And we did some press things together. But it really wasn't until we had the 25th anniversary screening at Lincoln Center of the movie, and she was there, and we were both now older, hopefully more mature, both give or take 50 years old. And I think, I watched it and I saw just how brilliant she was in it. Not that Madonna isn't brilliant in her way, but I saw that Rosanna just gives that character, makes her so quirky and so vulnerable, and has so many just wonderful little facial movements and reactions, and just makes that character come alive in ways that, got overshadowed by just the sheer pizzazz of Madonna's career at that time. But it was clear that as years have passed, that Rosanna has gotten the recognition for the movie that she so deserves.